Welcome back, mighty mamas, mighty people, to this real life messy declutter with me. Today, I am officially kicking off my Messy to Minimal Declutter with Me series. It is time. You have all convinced me in the comments that I have way too much stuff in this house, and you are right. I've always known it, and decluttering has always been a part of the plan in this journey of taking control of the mess in our homes, cleaning up one mess at a time. However, I was, of course, letting my perfectionism get in the way and telling myself all the lies like the house has to be perfectly clean first, or I have to have everything organized in order to start decluttering. Well, that is all wrong. And that is what this video today is about. This is about just jumping in and diving into the declutter process of your home. You don't need to even start off in a big room. You could just start in one little space, like maybe one shelf in your house, and do only that shelf and then walk away if it's too much for you. Believe me, starting in my daughter's room, because a lot of you left me comments for that video that she has way too much stuff, which I agree with, and I respect your honesty. I'm hearing you all. And plus, we're all here to help each other. So please always offer me your advice. But yes, I am taking you all up, and you have all motivated me to start decluttering right here in my daughter's room. And I'm going to share with you just the whole experience with this. It wasn't easy. I have to say it was challenging, but nobody said that this journey was going to be easy, and it's going to take hard work on all of our parts to really take control of the mess in our homes. So I really hope that I can motivate you to declutter with me and motivate you to get rid of the stress mess in your home. That is all the clutter is to us. It's just added stress, and it's not good for our anxiety. You have all said it yourself. Also, please watch to the end because it is so satisfying, all the stuff I was able to declutter out of this room. So right now, I want you to get up with me, grab your bag or box, and let's declutter together. Alexa, start timer for 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now. By the way.
Okay, so over here on my daughter's desk, I wanted to share this with you. This is the cutest thing. She made a little giveaway pile for me because I told her, I gave her a warning. I said, Mom is going to go through your room and I'm decluttering and we're going to get rid of things. She left a little note saying giveaway, and then she put all the things that she wants to give away here in this box. And I'm sorry, but I think this is just going to go in the garbage because she loves cutting her doll's hair. She wants to be a hairstylist, and she also uses their faces like to do makeup and stuff with her markers. So a lot of this stuff is probably just going to be discarded, but I thought that was really cute and really brave of her to take the initiative and go through some things and leave it for me to know that this is okay to give away. But I will say, in the overall end decision, Mama's gonna be the one to decide everything that goes. So to begin, just ignore that pile there. I was starting to go through that. Those books belong in our hallway once the project is finished. We're creating a little library. But here is my daughter's closet. There's two sides. So this is the one side. And I'm just going to get into this. So as you can see, it's very overwhelming. My anxiety is telling me I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I don't want to do this. All the things, but we're going to ignore it and we're going to get moving right now. Watch how I do this. Do this along with me. To be completely honest, going into this decluttering project, I had mixed emotions. I was excited because I knew the result was going to feel great. But I also had lots of anxiety because, number one, I needed to convince my daughter to get rid of her belongings. And number two, I knew that I was going to be faced with those items that hold a lot of sentimental value to me as well, especially when it comes to decluttering your kids' rooms. You're going to be faced with those old baby items that just, oh my gosh, those are just the sweetest times that we'll never get back. And, it could be that cute little baby outfit or that cute little baby girl dress or their favorite toy or their favorite stuffy. And, Things like that, I think, make it so much more harder for moms to declutter. And so I was faced with those belongings, and some of the stuff I did decide just to keep. And my daughter said that she wanted to keep for when she has a baby, and that's okay. We could hold on to a couple things. We don't have to go into decluttering thinking we have to get rid of everything. I know that this is a messy to minimal series, but I am starting small. You all know that I believe in starting small. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with any type of project, cleaning project, decluttering project, organizing project, because you know what? You're just going to be reluctant to even want to do it. And I had to psych myself up for this. I had to talk with my daughter and explain to her that, there's more importance and value in people and time and having that time to spend with each other than there is with objects. And I explained to her that the less we have, the less we have to take care of. And so I have really been trying to teach her this because I feel guilty that we're in this position at all. And if I'm going to be completely honest here, I have to admit that I am guilty for putting us in this position. Okay, so before my mom died, my parents got divorced and we lived with her pretty much full time. We woke up at my mom's, we went to bed at my mom's, we went to school from my mom's. My dad only seen us every couple weekends during his visitation days. And so that was just how it worked. And after she passed away, it was a total paradigm shift for all of us. My dad had the full responsibility of his 3 children. And honestly, he was still trying to get his life together at the time. He was in and out of work. So technically, we were poor. We had nothing. And if it wasn't for my grandmother who took us in, we would have literally had to be on the streets. As long as anybody else didn't help us, we would have nothing. So when I was a kid, I didn't have those cute brand name clothes. I didn't have those brand name shoes. I always felt less than. I just always felt like the dirty kid in school. Not that we were dirty. It made me feel like there was nothing fresh and new about me. And I never really looked forward to going to school because I didn't have the excitement of new school shoes, new school clothes. We did get clothes and shoes, but they were purchased at the most inexpensive store. And they were, of course, just generic looking shoes that, of course, I got made fun of when I was a kid because there's always that type of bully that wants to say something to you. But what I would have gave for a colored pair of high tops, like those Reebok high tops or the LA Gear or the British Knights. I think I'm really showing my age now, but if you know, you know. So yes, I never got any of that. And, even when it came to school supplies, I would give anything for a Lisa Frank folder or a Trapper Keeper. I never had an actual Trapper Keeper. So, I had a lot of friends that had that stuff and I just lived vicariously through them. And, I just always admired that about my friends. So, fast forwarding me becoming a mom, and especially having a little girl, I just wanted to make sure my kids never experienced what I experienced in childhood because it just always made me feel like I wasn't good enough, and it wasn't my dad's fault. He tried his very best and it's just the way it was. It's just my childhood. It was tough and we didn't have much at all. And that was just the way I grew up. It was unfortunate. But now that I'm a parent, I wanted to make sure, I guess I was overcompensating for what I didn't get. And here you have it. That's where we have all of this excess clutter because I'm guilty of buying those things and buying more clothes than I need to and all that stuff. But I am really working on this. And this is going to be a long journey. This is going to be a long process of me moving from messy to minimalist. And I'm excited for it, but it's hard. It's going to be challenging. Actually, decluttering this room, it was difficult. I didn't film those times, but I really did break down and I cried looking at the items. I could actually cry right now talking about it, but looking at those baby girl dresses, it just brought so many memories back and thinking just how fast my kids grow. And so it was just a double-edged sword because I had so much emotional connection tied to these objects. And here I was faced with the fact that I have to part with them. Maybe not all of them, but I do have to part with some of them. And so I really pushed through And, I just thought of like that next child that will be happy to get it. Maybe a child that's growing up like me and doesn't have nothing and would just love to have this beautiful dress that my daughter grew out of, So that's how I looked at everything when I was decluttering. And I also felt good about getting rid of it because it just was a freeing experience, as if like a weight was being lifted, and it was just less stuff that I had to manage here at home, less stuff that I have to look at. And it's just a really relieving feeling. It definitely does help with the anxiety level and the stress level. And I know that I talked about this before about the scientific study that was done on women and how cortisol levels are connected to like clutter, and having like higher stress means you have higher cortisol levels. So the more stuff that you have, it raises your cortisol levels. So it's just really important for us, especially as women, to declutter our homes and to free up that space, because there's also this Japanese minimalist. I can't think of his name right now, but I was reading some articles on him, which I really want to get his book. And I will actually link the book that I'm looking at. It's on Amazon, and it's his book. And he teaches you about how all of our objects around us are speaking to us, and they're sending us a message to, like, basically they're talking to us. So it's like, if you see like that pile of clothes on the floor, it's telling you, come and wash me right now. I'm dirty. And it's really true. Okay, you guys, this is a massive declutter. I mean, I'm a good packer. That's what it is. I'm a very good packer because the amount of stuff that I manage to get into these tight spaces, it's crazy. I need to go through all three of these cases. These are all my older son's clothes that I saved for my younger son, but I am ready to go through and, styles change, things change, even though like he would be the same size. I actually don't need that much clothes for him. He doesn't like to wear clothes anyways, so we don't need to have that many clothes in our house. So far, I will just show you, like, this is donation pile. A lot of that's donation. There's a couple pieces of trash I have to go through. This is donation. All of those are the cases from the movies. So those are going into recycling. And then I had boxes from like the diffuser and then the iPad. Like, why do we need the boxes? Why do we save boxes? There's no reason to. I mean, they got that like a year or two ago. So, we don't need the boxes. We're not going to return anything. These books, just ignore those. These go somewhere else. I just was using this room to hold them right now. So this treasure chest thing, this was a gift that I had received for my wedding shower from all of my bridesmaids, particularly like my sister. What is this? A piece of fuzz? My sister and my sister-in-laws, which, you know what? It's beautiful and it was awesome at the time, but I really don't have the space for it in my house. So I was passing it down to my daughter, but she I don't know, she doesn't do anything with it. So I'm thinking I may get rid of that. So I'm going to ask her because I did give it to her. So that may be something special she wants to keep for her house. But like things like this, you guys, that take up space that we have no use for, And then inside, she stored her purple lamp, which we're going to get rid of that. She has this purple like caboodle kit thingy. She doesn't need that. We haven't even looked at this for months. So it's this type of stuff. Now, honestly, I'm not going through those today. And there's another like 3 bin thing. I'm going to save that for a different time. I'm starting to feel really exhausted. I still have all of this stuff to go through. I didn't realize this closet was going to be so much work, but my timer hasn't gone off yet. We're still within the hour, so I'm going to keep it moving. So let's keep going. I hope you are doing this with me. Let's do it. Even as I'm doing this video and I'm sitting here, I'm like looking around at things and it's like, oh my gosh, like that thing needs to be dusted. Why is that even there? Do I even need that? And it's like, that thing needs to be brought into the kitchen, poured down the drain, and put in the dishwasher. Like the more things you look at, they're actually giving you that inner chatter in your mind, So it's so good to just let go and get rid of, but it is a difficult process. And so I'm just starting small today in this room, but in the end, I really did end up getting rid of a lot, like a lot more than I thought. I started with like that one little gray and white bin, and there was no way. I mean, it was like it poured out over into the floor, all the things that I started to declutter from the room. So it really was a success, but it was a difficult process. However, we still managed to hang on to some things for a little longer because, my daughter's still growing, and there is going to come that time where my children are going to completely outgrow toys. And so I guess I'm hanging on to toys. That's a way for me to hold on to them still being young and just preserving their childhood. I didn't have such a great childhood. And so I just want my children to experience all the fun things in childhood. But I know that having items and belongings, they don't hold really that much value in a person's happiness. I do understand that now. I did a lot of research on this because I had mentioned before that I started a self-healing journey a few years back before COVID, and I was doing really well. I was sharing a lot of that information over on my Instagram account at mighty.mama. I have some stuff in my highlights if anybody's interested. I'm actually going to cover that stuff in future videos as well because I think that will be helpful. And I know that my anxiety and depression and my OCD, it all stems from my childhood. It stems from my past traumatic experiences and things like that. And without getting all into that right now, that is pretty much also where my cluttering came from. Or I don't like to call it hoarding because maybe I am a hoarder. Maybe I'm an organized hoarder. I've been kind of thinking that lately because like I do have so much stuff and maybe it's not always a mess. And I really knew how to pack this closet in really good. And so I was really good at packing everything in there because as you could see, I'm able to pull a million things out of this space. So maybe I do have hoarding tendencies and I don't even know it, but I believe it really all stems from my childhood. And the last thing I want to do is pass that on to my kids. I want to make sure that they hold more value in people and not objects. So this is a learning experience for not only me, but for my kids. And I had to talk my daughter through this decluttering process because, of course, as I was filling up other piles, you guys seen that she made her giveaway pile, but Mama was also adding other things that she didn't pick out to, go into the declutter pile. And as she would come into the room, she was like looking and she's like picking it up and she's like, Mom, but wait, I didn't put this in my pile. And then I had to talk with her and we had a heart to heart about it. All right, so just to start over here, you guys seen that I emptied all this American Girl stuff out of that box. The box it's actually over here. The box was broken and it was so much bigger than it needed to be. We had less stuff. So that's going. So basically I have all this recycling here that I have to break down. These hangers are going into my son's room. All of this is going in the recycling bin. I have donation pile. I'm actually going to probably be donating this thing. This is from 31. This is all donation. I just have to bag it up. It's her shoes and clothes that she grew out of. This is just extra containers for things. This is also donation in here that I have to consolidate into one bag. This is trash. This is actually recycling. This is a couple of those empty zippered cases that I'm not going to fill back up. I still have to go through these clothes. This over here is for my daughter to save for when she has a baby. She told me she wants to save that stuff for when she has a baby. These are extra pillowcases and sheets that I'm keeping. I have hangers over there, like the child size hangers that I'm going to donate to my neighbor who just had a baby. And then that's also a pile that I'm going to add to the donation for her. And then here is this is some like stuff that is going to go into the kids' room here once we do the makeover. This is a baby blanket that was handmade for my daughter. So it's something she wants to keep. She is very sentimental, but really I can fold this, consolidate it, and I think I'm going to put it in a vacuum seal bag. This way it will lay flat on the shelf in her closet. But just to show you guys the progress, managed to empty all of these out, and eventually I'm going to do a whole closet makeover. We're going to pull these racks out. We're going to redo everything because this whole like shelving system is not going to work well for the two kids in the room. So we have lots of those home projects coming your way as well. This over here is I think it's Captain Underpants and I think Dogman or something collection of my son's. He wanted to pass it down to my daughter. So she said she wants to wait till she's old enough for those. So that's something we're going to keep for her. But yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with the progress I made. I'm going to see if she does want to keep that. If she does want to keep that, I'll probably just put all of those baby items in there that she wants to keep as well. Hopefully she wants to get rid of that. I'm hoping. But yeah, so far that looks good. And then over here, I managed to put it down to one bin. Like I said, I'm not going through that today. It's just all those little tiny toys. I can't do that right now. And then I got rid of all the clothes that don't fit her. I'm going to have to rearrange all this and redo this. And then those clothes are for my little guy, for him to grow into. And yeah, I mean, for the most part, this is all going to go. So it isn't going to be bad at all. Now I'm going to work on this bookshelf. And then she says she wants to get rid of those American Girl beds, which is great. And then I'm going to also declutter that shelf over that dresser there. And I think I'm just going to hit this wall up and just get rid of the things that she doesn't need up there that are really busy. So, and then I also have these to go through. And I'm going to just run through her dresser. I'm going to run through that thing. And then I found these items in her closet, which was weird. This went to like an older TV. I don't even know. But if my son doesn't have a use for these in his room, he's like our tech kid, then they're going to go. So keep on moving with me. Let's keep going. As long as I am here decluttering, you need to be decluttering right along with me. I still have to power through these shelves and all the things on the walls and stuff too. So we're going to do this. Even though right now it looks like a complete disaster, we're going to keep decluttering and get it done. So I'm your girl. I'm here. We're going to do it. Let's do it. I told her I was going to go to another little girl that didn't have anything, and it would just put a smile on her face. And that really made my daughter feel good about giving it away. And I told her we can always get new things for birthdays and Christmas and things like that. So she handled it really well. I'm really proud of her. And, you know, that's just what we have to do. Sometimes we need to talk our kids through it, because the last thing I want to do is make her feel like objects are so important and, you know, put a higher value into her belongings. Just, I want her to understand that the most important thing is life and having time and energy to spend with family. And that is my goal in this journey of, you know, going from messy to minimal, is I want to free up that time and energy that I'm always putting into stressing over, even thinking about the messes around me and what I have to clean up. I'm just done with it. I'm so done. So this is why I'm pushing myself super hard to declutter my home. And this was really a great experience starting here in her room. I had a lot of obstacles I was faced with, and I worked through them. And after this, I was just ready to keep moving through all the other spaces of my home. So it really does help just to get started. So I highly recommend you start somewhere. If you're able to declutter with me right now, that is awesome. I am so happy for you. You are going to feel great at the end of it all. If you didn't get a chance to do it with me right now, that is fine. Do not beat yourself up. You will get the opportunity. Maybe you just need to rest a little more until you get that energy and that stamina, and then start maybe tomorrow in the morning with your coffee. Just go hit up a shelf that has some excess items on there that you've been looking at and you know that you don't need that stuff. Just go on, just throw those couple of things in a box, and then that's it, you know, and then start another section maybe the next day. Like, we don't have to declutter like a whole big all or nothing thing. And that is what I'm really learning about just cleaning house while living with anxiety and depression, and now decluttering with depression and anxiety. I'm learning that it is okay just to do a little bit at a time. And we don't have to, you know, set it up in our mind that it's this big decluttering project. No. And also, you have to understand that you don't have to clean when you declutter. Decluttering is simply going space to space and removing those objects from out of your home. That is what decluttering is. You know, for so long, I have told myself that decluttering means I need to clean and organize. And that is the lies that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Those are the lies that held me back and kept me from even starting to declutter my home. But you guys have all really motivated me in the comments, the constant reminders of how I have too much stuff. And of course, you guys definitely said my daughter had way too much stuff in her room. And honestly, even after this declutter, she still has a lot of stuff. And I know I'm going to have to come back to this and I'm going to have to do more decluttering down the road. But like I said, you know, there's still those belongings that are special to her and she's still young, and I'm just allowing her to enjoy them because there's going to come a time where it's all going to be gone because our kids are going to grow up. So without, you know, holding too much sentiment value and keeping it around for just that, it also serves a purpose for her right now. She can actually use the things that we kept, and we will later declutter them one day too. So I really hope that this video and my talk has really motivated you to declutter with me, because even if it's just one shelf, like I said, you're going to feel that weight lifted off of you just to unload that stress out of your home. And that is literally what clutter is. It's just a bunch of stress. It's a stress mess, as I like to call it. But if you were not able to declutter with me right now, it is okay. Your feelings are valid. Maybe you still need a little more rest or you're just not feeling it today. No biggie. The wonderful thing about YouTube is you can always come back here and you can hang out with me anytime and we can clean and organize and declutter together anytime. So definitely do that when you feel up to it. And also, you guys, I really need your help. If you can leave a comment below letting me know, do you want me to continue with these messy to minimal declutter with me's the whole way until I'm done decluttering my house? Or do you want me to bring you like every other week a cleaning with depression and anxiety, and then one of these videos every other week? So leave me a comment letting me know how I should approach this journey, because I am here for you and I want to deliver what you guys came to get. So let me know. But for now, I'm going to say stay mighty and God bless. Okay, here it is. This is my declutter pile. I am so proud of myself. I know it may not seem like that much, but I think I made major progress in that room. I still have a long way to go, I know, but this was awesome just to be able to unload this stuff. This is any of the glass items. I wrapped them in like those bubble Amazon packages. I had a few of those left over from some packages I received. So I wrapped all that stuff nicely. And then this is a lamp. I used that box to hold that stuff. And then I have this sign here, we're donating. This is a whole bag of donation of stuffed toys and some clothes also in there. This is another bag of clothes. And then these are some toy items and also some like, you know, art activities and DVDs that I thought I would donate. And then we have the American Girl beds. And then that is actually a puzzle rack. I don't need that. That's to hold wooden puzzles. And then this is a red crayon bank. I actually have to find the cap for that, but we'll be donating that. And then this is my bag that I will be donating to my neighbor. And this is also a bag of blankets that I'm going to donate to the animal shelter near my home. And then this is garbage. And I also want to show you guys, these are all the DVD cases that I recycled, okay? Like, look at this. It just goes on and on. And then any other recycling that came from the room. So that was like a major unload and it feels so good. So here you have it, the clutter that is leaving my house. I am so relieved to finally unload some stuff. Like I said, I have a long ways to go. So make sure you subscribe if you are new here. You definitely want to join on this journey. We are going to declutter our homes together. We are going to clean and organize while living with depression and anxiety. And we are going to create those happy spaces together.
Every change